we invited to come to the project because we wanted their use and their business in the project. We called them up on the telephone and invited them to explore it. And we did that by virtue of coming up with a list of the types of uses that we thought would be appropriate for that kind of town center environment. So as a result, we got a range of businesses, a range of convenience-oriented businesses, a range of restaurants, including a wonderful Oriental restaurant and a local sub pizza guy who's doing fantastic, and then Waxy O'Connor's restaurant and pub, and where he also does an entertainment component on the weekends. And we've got a major daycare facility as part of that operation, a Walgreens, and then a whole range of small retailers. We pre-leased that,
right?
Meaning that was 100% leased prior to
even building
construction.
it. Yeah.
So it was virtually 100% leased before it was built, let alone ready for delivery to the tenants.
So what happened? This person that bought this project had a vision, and he kind of came to you and said, "Does it make sense? Do you think I can pull all these pieces together?" Or you kind of go by there and
He was the visionary. He was the visionary. Vince O'Neill, a terrific real estate visionary. And a great closer, a fantastic closer. I've never worked with anybody that could close deals better than Vince O'Neill. Yeah. But Vince saw the opportunity there to merge all of these uses into a town center concept.
Right.
And he brought us in to talk to us about the retail piece of it, only the retail piece, Mark. So we went in and we talked with Vince about the retail, how we would approach it, what our vision would be for the retail. He liked our thinking. And hired us to do the leasing of it, but it's very difficult when you're looking at how does a real estate broker get paid. Real estate broker gets paid usually on commissions. That's how we get paid, based on commissions, and you don't get paid those commissions until most of the time the tenant is in paying rent.
Right.
So you're talking about, in this case, over 2 years of lead time when we're pre-leasing the space before we're going to see any commission checks. Which is a real barrier to entry for a lot of people and a lot of individuals as well as companies to get involved. You're investing a lot of time in the project way in advance of when you're going to get paid. And you're still investing it sometimes before you even know you've got an approved, financed project. So we're already pre-leasing the project before he even has his final permits.
Sure.
So a real estate broker, and you could talk to any real estate broker and they'll tell you, they invest a tremendous amount of time. It could be a residential broker, retail, office, industrial, anybody. They're investing a tremendous amount of time, and an awful lot of the work they do will never, ever get paid for. But they get commissions, and so the commissions are good pay for their work, but it may be the result of an enormous amount of work that took place before you got paid.
You had a question, Mark?
So, sounds like you said you did something on the North Shore, something in Foxborough. I believe you're located in Bellingham. So how do you find all these people? They kind of find you based on your experience of doing these kind of projects? Yeah,
I'll get calls from guys, gals that I've done business with in the past, or from somebody they referred to me. And where I work is based on mainly the eastern New England area, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. And so long as that they're in that area, I use my experience, which is 25 years in the business, to go into a particular market and do what we need to do in order to figure out the highest and best uses for the particular project in mind. And then we go figure out how are we going to get it. So we establish our strategies on what the uses are that we want for a particular project, and then how are we going to get them. The best strategy that I've used and that my brother uses, who works for me, is to figure out the uses that we want and then to invite them to come over, introduce them to it, and invite them to explore it. And but there's plenty of other marketing strategies that are used, listing services, and a range of other ways that you contact and reach out to clients. Some of these clients are going to be national clients, Mark, that are national retailers. And for a local neighborhood shopping center, generally they're not appropriate. You might get a national company like a Subway that has local franchisees, and you work with the corporate and the local franchisee to put the local deal together. but in many cases you're working with larger neighborhood supermarket anchored grocers, those kinds of centers, in order to be able to attract national retailers or national restaurant chains and so forth. So you're trying to figure out the right balance of local businesses and regional businesses and national businesses based on realistically what the market is going to justify.
It's interesting to me that I know that strip mall in Foxborough you're talking about, and you have, you know, Patriot Place not too far away, right up the street, and it's interesting that can be so successful in that area, because you figure, you know, most people that live in that area, I don't know, a lot of them would go to Patriot Place there's a ton there. There's everything you would need.
And we were doing our project simultaneous too.
At the same time, sure.
The guys at SRA were doing the with Patriot Place for Bob Kraft, and so we competed with them, but we competed with them for the most part, different clients. Our neighborhood, our center is a neighborhood shopping center.
Sure.
Theirs is a regional power center.
Sure.
And so
the two can work together,
where the competition mostly is, Joe, is where do you think most of the competition would be between the two centers? Restaurants.
Oh,
restaurants.
okay. Yeah,
the restaurants will be competitive with one another.
Sure.
So Waxy O'Connor's, they're drawing from some of the same customer base as CBS, for example, CBS store over at Patriot Place. So they've got a great entertainment venue at Waxy's where they have live music coming in on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, and so they've been very successful.
Yeah. How important is having that kind of retail development on a set of traffic lights?
Depends on the project. Great question. Great question. A lot of people will call me up, or they'll call their local, or they'll call a broker they know, and they'll say, geez, the CVS, I see CVS just bought a property down the road, and they paid $1.5 million for an acre and a half of land or 2 acres of land. I'd like to sell my property. Can you sell that? Can you sell my property to somebody that'll pay me $1.5 million? It's just down the road from where I am.
Yeah.
And my answer is, I'll come meet you, and I'll look at your site, and I'll tell you what I think. But I'll invariably arrive there, and they are 50 feet from greatness, 100 feet from greatness. And the difference between greatness and mediocrity in terms of retail site is dramatic, dramatic. So where CVS would go in that perfect corner, where you've got a great intersection, great traffic, and commuter traffic, and local traffic, and other retail generators, and hospital nearby, and a grocery, and other things. And they're right at the traffic light, so they have access off 2 roads, and they could lay out their prototype, 12,900 square foot CVS prototype with a drive-through. Got to be prototype, got to have their parking, got to be perfect on that corner with access off both roads. If it's perfect, they'll pay that $1.5 million or whatever it's going to take. Not to say what CVS will pay, that's not my business to say. I do work on CVS deals, but that's an example of what might happen in the marketplace. And the guy next door, who's not on the corner, wants $1.5 million for his 2 acres, and it isn't going to happen, except in unusually dense retail corridors where you can get close to that kind of a number, but you're not going to get there. But you know, in a typical site, you might have a value of 1/5 or a quarter or 1/10 the value of what the CVS is worth, or what that corner is worth to a gas station. And if you don't sell it to a gas station, a state-of-the-art gas station, and you don't sell it to a pharmacy, or you can't put enough land together where you could do a neighborhood grocery store anchored shopping center at the corner, if you can't do that, then your land is only worth what the market will bear for a typical small business use in that area.
Yeah.
Automobile dealers will pay a lot of money for sites if it's perfect. If it's a high traffic area where there's all kinds of other automobile dealers, and land values are way up because you're on the golden mile of, Route 1 in Norwood. You're on the golden auto mile, and there, if you're a new car dealer, you want that location for your. So there are specific examples where people will pay a lot of money. But your question's a great one. You want that traffically controlled intersection for your business. But unless you're a CVS or a gas station owner, operator, developer, you can't afford to pay what a lot of people want for that corner.
Yeah.
So the corner guy sitting there, and unless he can get those uses, he can't get what he wants, and you have to educate both the buyer that's going to come in and wants to be at that corner, and the owner that has the corner but doesn't have the user that's going to pay the big money.
Now, Dusty, you've been in the business for 20 years, you said. What are some things that you see changing now in the industry? Anything you see changing?
I think I've been in the business, let's see, yeah, 20 years, right, 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah. What's changing? Electronic communication has dramatically changed the ability to get the word out on your property to brokers and to communicate with your retail clients, to any of your real estate clients, you know, through email and through electronic and social media. It's dramatically changing the world, the way that real estate does business.
So does that change your business too?
A little bit, because you can market faster and more easily to a wider range of people. But still, an awful lot of what I do is based on relationships and being able to get through to the people that I need to reach. And I treat every businessman and everybody working for a businessman as somebody who I respect and am very appreciative of the value of their time. And so when I get them on the phone, I've got to get to the information I need to get at as quickly and as efficiently as possible, find out if they're interested, and then get them the information they need as quickly and efficiently as possible without wasting their time. And so I only can call them with properties, opportunities, situations which are credible, which in my view, based on my experience, are credible, because I don't want to be seen as somebody that's wasting their time, or that somebody gets on the phone with them and spends a lot of social time, social chit-chat. They're in the middle of a very busy business day, and if they're going to take my call out of respect for their relationship to me, or out of respect because they know that I've had some results, then I want to make sure that those communications are still effective. Right. So I'll get on the phone with them, I'll be very efficient and quick, that they'll take my call, and it's those calls, it's those conversations, it's those emails and communications that are critical to get through to the right party, the president of a company, or the right real estate decision maker for a national company, that you got to get a hold of to get an initial signal, is this something that they're interested in?
And it can't be done through a text message. It's just too.
It can be if you know them well enough, but you know,
usually it's too many questions and answers.
You're going to reach out to people with email. You're going to reach out to people with phone calls, and you're going to do it both ways.
Well, Dusty, we're actually going to close it up. We're out of time, so if you could provide your contact information so someone can get a hold of you if they're interested in using your services.
Sure. Dusty Burke, American Commercial Real Estate, Bellingham, Mass. My telephone number, my cell phone, 508-735-6378. My office number is 508-966-2699. My email address is dusty@acreco.com, ACRECO.com. ACRE, A-C-R-E, is an acronym of American Commercial Real Estate.
Fantastic. From lumberjack to commercial real estate extraordinaire, everyone. Dusty Burke. Dusty, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Mark, Joe,
thanks for having
me, guys. Appreciate it.
Great.
And that's going to conclude the show today for Biz Buzz. Mark, thanks again, and check us out on Facebook. Again, just type in Biz Buzz. That's B-I-Z-B-U-Z-Z, and you'll find the latest and greatest guests we've had on Biz Buzz. Everyone, thanks a lot. Have a great night.